The Chinese regime has formally announced changes to its criminal procedure law. The original proposed changes gave police the power to detain suspects outside official detention centers without notifying their families. It drew public outcry last summer. Now the law has been watered down, but it still allows secret detention under some instances. The law will likely pass at this week's meeting of China's NPC, which is in effect a rubber stamp parliament.
At the National People's Congress, the Chinese regime unveiled its revised criminal procedure law. The law sets what powers police have in detaining suspects. Although the new law enacts some reforms, it still allows police to detain suspects without informing their families. The new draft law would dictate that police must notify the families of suspects under residential surveillance within 24 hours of arrest. Residential surveillance means holding a suspect at a location other than a jail, often hotels or private buildings. These makeshift prisons have come to be known as black jails, and suspects held in them often report torture at the hands of police. For those held in official detention centers, police would also have to notify families, unless the cases involve crimes of endangering national security or terrorism. In those cases, suspects could still be held secretly, with no need for police to inform their families. But those are the very charges that are often slapped on dissidents, human rights activists, and anyone critical of the regime. Nicholas Bequelin of Human Rights Watch wrote in the New York Times that the Communist Party sees the need for increased police powers because of hundreds of protests happening across China every day. Bequelin writes, "The protests are fueled by a host of labor, environmental and livelihood issues, compounded by corruption and abuses of power, primarily among local officials. Unable to take their grievances to the courts, a growing number of people are taking them to the streets. Often only the police stand between the masses and the party." The new law, although giving increased powers to police, is a revision from an earlier version of the law, which would have allowed secret detention outside of official detention centers as well. That power, dubbed the KGB clause by Chinese activist Hu Jia, drew outcry in China last summer from the public and the media. But although it remains illegal, detention in so-called black jails without informing family members has been happening for a long time. Last year, dissident artist Ai Weiwei was detained for 81 days without notification to his family. The new law doesn't guarantee disappearances such as these will stop.